beef should be there. It should just be there. But I'm not gonna say I'm in favor of beefing with everybody or whatever. But beef should be there, bro. Trust me, beef will make rappers make the best music of their life. First, you look at if it's gonna benefit you as well. But if the boy doesn't got, like, if they don't got weight on their name, then nah, it ain't advisable. Just ignore it and keep it moving. That's how I work. But if the name carries weight and we could go like tic-tac-toe, then might as well, bro.
What's going on, you guys? So check it right. As we all know by now, Nasty C released a new track on us titled No Big Deal, which he also performed on Metro FM. Now, since dropping the track, Nasty had the Twitter and YouTube streets buzzing for the last couple of days due to the things that were said on the track. I mean, at first listen, you might mistake the track as a diss record when it's actually Nasty just being self-reflective on his past encounters with some significant individuals in the African hip-hop space. I mean, he was rapping about how Sakati wouldn't shake his hand when they first met, and ever since then, he held a grudge which led him to constructing a plan where he'll never give him a verse, but fortunately they managed to sort out their differences. He also spoke on Shatta and how the media twisted his response when asked if he's heard about him, but unfortunately he hadn't at the time. Thankfully, Shatta understood and they both have respect for each other. But with that said, the individual that Nasty mentioned who caused a bit of a stir-up is A-Reece. Now, these two have had a long-standing feud with each other, which was manufactured by Ambitious Entertainment. And since then, there's been a few situations which have led this beef to develop on its own. I mean, the main ones that I can recall are the MTV-based cypher, where Reece went on to say, "First of all, let me get one thing clear. I do not sound like David. Get the fuck out of here." And the second situation is the Iverson tour, where Reece was supposed to perform back in 2018, but unfortunately he arrived late. And that really didn't sit well with Nasty, which led to the infamous IG Live, with Nasty declaring that he'll never work with Reece again.
No question. No question. No fucking question. I'm not gonna mention your boy name. I'm not gonna mention him. He's not worth it. Fuck him. I'm not gonna work with him. No. Sir.
So ever since then, it's just been a case of these two doing their own things and creating a lane for themselves without interfering with each other. But fast forward to now when we got No Big Deal from Nasty, where he also addresses the relationship he's had with Reece over the years. Now in the track, he goes on to say, "I think it's time I take this back to the nest. There's been a couple requests. You know, I try to squash that shit with A-Reece. Hard as it was to put my pride aside, I try to make peace. It wasn't even no beef, that shit was petty spaghetti. 2 weeks later, I'm disrespected and regret it already. Couldn't even get on my live without people bringing him up again. I end up saying fuck him then. Something that was nothing might really turn into something then. I don't even know why we beefing, dog, but it's up again. I'm down to go either way at this point, I'll leave it up to him." So as I said before, this wasn't a diss by Nasty, but rather him just being self-introspective and realizing that these two were really beefing over nothing. And I'm glad that Nasty came to that realization, because I don't think Reece did anything malicious towards Nasty, because at the end of the day, Reece was just instructed by Ambitious to beef with Nasty. And granted it, they worked to their favors at that time, but I don't think it was anything real to the point where it got beyond the music. Now, I've seen quite a few people insinuate that Nasty finally wants to work with Reece because of the lines on the track, but honestly, that's not the case. With Nasty saying, "I don't even know why we beefing, dog, but it's up again. I'm down to go either way at this point, I'll leave it up to him." It's really a case of Nasty still willing to continue in this back and forth with Reece, whether directly or subliminally, only if Reece is up for it. It's basically Nasty willing to engage in the competitive sport of hip-hop with Reece, but if he declines the offer, then I guess it's peace between them, as it has been for a while, with them sticking to their own lane. But with said peace, I don't think it's a case of these two working together, or at least not yet. But with that said, Nasty wanting to compete with Reece has left many wondering if Nasty needs Reece at this point in time, considering that Zulu Man with Some Power and the Iverson Army Tour mixtape haven't fully been received well by the masses. Whether that's the case or not, I'll leave it to you guys to decide that. But either way, beef between two significant rappers or artists is beneficial for both parties because it usually brings out the best in them. Now, I'm not looking for that to happen. I've actually said this many times that I would actually prefer the opposite, where we can finally see these two collab on a track or more together. I mean, imagine Nasty on the hook just flowing like he usually does, with Reece's lyrical ability on a verse or two. Guys, I think that could do a lot for the game, both locally and internationally. and it could do a lot for their pockets as well. But right now, that's just wishful thinking. All I'll say is that it's going to be interesting to see what decision Reece makes, either to compete with Nasty, whether directly or subliminally, or choose peace in the form of them just sticking to their own lane like they've been doing. But I guess only time will tell. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on this. What decision do you think Reece will make? And do you believe Nasty needs Reece at this point in time? Comment down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.